One just looks naked boy like. I can't really go there. It's just too creepy to me.
Yeah, well, it's and I've told myself it's like even as a kid I thought that was kind of weird, but it's like this is going to be good with your Jaga who is still amongst the living in this Lion-O, and Snarf, of course. Those go well together as kind of a little corner of the collection, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Thundercats, it's Wave 10, which is crazy. One of the longest running Ultimates properties
Yep.
at this point. But of course, to kind of complement that, you guys announced not a new property to you, but new to Ultimates,
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons
That's right.
coming to Ultimates. So,
This is a toy line. We 5 years in the making,
yeah,
maybe more.
yeah,
We've been trying to get this for so long.
yeah. Yeah,
Forever, it seems.
well, the reactions that you guys have been doing have been fun takes on some of like the original artwork and whatnot, but this is obviously straight up from the cartoon. And not too long ago, Hasbro did some offerings of the
Yep.
cartoon figures themselves, but Sheila and Hank from the crew, there's a lot more going on here, I would say, in terms of accessories and whatnot. But then what really excites me is some villains from the show that are, you know, they've never had figures before, and that makes me not only happy for this assortment, but hopeful for where we might be going with this line.
Yeah, definitely. That was same thing for us, getting really excited about all this stuff. Dekion
Yeah,
is, like, oh man, you got to make Dekion. How cool. Like as a kid, he was like, that guy's the coolest.
yeah.
Uh,
Skeleton Knight, man, that's awesome.
yeah. And uh, it's sort of, the way we do a lot of this stuff is usually two heroes, two villains per wave. So
Hmm.
we're still, I hate to call it a formula, but we're still in that sort of formula. But that's the thing. It's like, I want the world of, not
Yeah,
just a couple main characters.
yeah,
And, we know what, same thing like Sheila and Hank for some people. If you've got the Hasbro ones, then that's fine. Maybe you don't need mine, but you can still get Dekion and the Shadow Warriors. Um, but in this line, it's like, I want to get into all of that stuff.
yeah.
And the Shadow Demons for me were also, right at the top of the list. That, the way they float around, and they were just evil looking as a kid. You're like, man, check out that dude. you
Well,
know
and that's the thing. I mean, Venger is a very, memorable main villain, but there were a
yes.
lot of bad guys going on in that show. So I'm actually very pleased to see some that have never been done debuting in this first assortment because yeah, 2-pack is really great for these guys with the stands because I just display options are already coming into to view with them kind of over the rest of the figures kind of in the back floating around. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was really, I don't think it's anybody listening to this is not going to come to as a surprise to be like, who does Brian want to get out first? It's like Dekion and the Shadow Demons. Like, we're not even playing.
Well, Dekion is definitely my favorite of the assortment, but for the heroes, I like this. I like the ultimate scale because we're building out a very diverse, you know, like universe of all these different properties under this one umbrella and getting Sheila from the renders that you've shown, her being able to put her hands up on the hood piece that's going to be there and with the different
Yep.
expressions. I like this. I definitely like this kind of raised eyebrow head that's included here.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got the hands there to hold the hood up.
Yeah, and the cape
Goes
will be
invisible.
soft goods, is that right? And
Yeah,
the net
cape will be
too?
soft goods.
And will the net be soft goods as well?
I think it is
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
cool. That's cool. Well, those are fun. That's a fun accessory to include with her. And Hank also is a good one because he comes with multiple portraits. But what I was really excited to see was that you guys are showing him being able to actually hold his bow
Yeah.
correctly because I don't have a Hank figure that can quite do that.
Well, hopefully this Hank figure will live up to all your expectations.
Well, I was really happy, as you said, with I like the balance of two villains and two heroes on here, and you know, it seems like Hank is very appropriate as the de facto leader to be included in a first series. But I'm actually glad you guys went with Sheila because I think of all the main cast, she's one that kind of lends herself to a very strong variation that might be something that you guys might be able to think about down the line because of her
Because of
cloak
the wonderful things
power.
she does.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if that came into anybody's mind. Oh, I can't sell that until I deliver this.
yeah.
So
Well,
maybe she has to go before somebody else.
yeah, well,
Maybe.
well, well, that could be a cool idea.
That could be
But
a cool idea. I wonder if we'll get there.
yeah, maybe, it's we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I'm really excited for this to build this out and see this. And like I said, I'm glad to start with a couple of undone villains. But I mentioned that you guys kind of got your D&D start with your reaction stuff, and it's stuff that's definitely not based on the cartoon. Will Ultimates be something where that you are focusing on the cartoon, or is that kind of more open in terms of where you're going to pull from for Ultimates for D&D?
For right now, we're sticking pretty much to the cartoon.
Yeah, there's a lot to do there because even
There is a lot to do there.
even characters that showed up in like vintage toy lines and whatnot also made their way onto the show, so getting kind of cartoon accurate versions of those could be fun. And Venger is cool. Venger with a certain horse is cool too. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
you guys have done some wild stuff under the Ultimates umbrella, but I don't think we've
Yeah.
gotten a horse.
Yeah, it's a horse, of course. Yeah, no, we've gone down all these roads
Yeah.
already.
Well, I don't want to get over ski tips in terms of this is the initial wave to be offered, but was it the timing of the anniversary that just felt like the good time to kick this off? I know you said it's taken like 5 years to get
It's
here,
taken
but
a long time, and there were multiple times that we thought we were going to make it, and then it would get pulled back for a number of reasons.
Mhm.
And then obviously there was the big D&D movie that
Yeah,
came out, and a lot of marketing effort that went around that, and product and so we just been kind of biding our time, waiting till we could have our moment to do D&D the way we wanted.
yeah,
And that's no knock against anything else that's been made. It's
sure.
just obviously we've got our point of view on it, and that starts with Dekion.
Yeah, I'm glad it starts with Dekion because it's like it took seeing the figure to bring my brain back to the cartoon when he showed up, and it's like, man, this is really cool because he's like cursed, right?
Yeah.
Because he like starts off as now I'm thinking of more variants. So he starts out as a guy, and then to the skeleton version. Oh, well, this is really exciting, and like I said, I'm interested to see where it goes, and all the possibilities for not just the main cast, but some really cool supporting characters that are really, I think, that makes a line like this fun. So cool,
Yeah, I mean,
cool
that was the big
announcement.
question. That's the funny part. The big question that we had going into this line was, will everybody want all the deep cut villains, or not even
Yes.
deep cut, but will everybody want the villains as well or not? And I was like, I do,
Yeah.
but I don't know that everybody else does. And there was a couple different people that I reached out to that I know are fans and asked them
Hmm.
about it, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's what we want." I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right." That's what
I,
I think. But until you put it out there and it goes live, you just never know.
yeah. Well, I've seen anecdotally, at least from what I have noticed, the strongest reactions, positive reactions, definitely to Dekion and the Shadow Demon. So I think people are seeing what you're laying down here, and it's well, and that's the thing. I mean, I think it's a property and a show that deserves, to go deeper than just the core cast. So
Yeah.
I think that's great. That to me, like we talk about with like TMNT and Thundercats, it's like, yeah, I love the core guys, but when you start building out that universe, that's when it gets the most interesting to me. So I'm glad to see that starting pretty much right out of the gate here.
Yeah. I'm
Ah,
trying my best.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, these actually went up for pre-order, I think, on the same day as Thundercats. So we still have a couple of weeks for everybody to
Yeah,
get their orders in
yeah.
with
Things
this.
got a little accelerated here and there because images got out a little earlier than we thought. So we were like, oh well, I guess just turn it on.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Give people a little extra time to put this together. So, very exciting. Looking forward to this, especially I'm with you with Dekion. I mean, that's going to be a cool figure that I can see fitting into a lot of different places in people's collections. So,
Yeah,
that's a fun one.
I love that cartoony face he has.
Yeah, yeah. With like one, I mean, he's a skeleton, so he really shouldn't have eyes, but he has one eye, which I think makes it even cooler.
Yeah.
So,
The
so
way the mouth is handled is so like 1980s